Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana. I'm from Deviera Creations. I tried to do a live. I can't do a live because it says I have to have at least 50 subscribers before I can do a live. And I also have to do some shorts. So for now, I'm going to record this video and hopefully I can get some more subscribers. It's free to subscribe. Just click on the subscription button below and subscribe. I hope I can teach you something. If you have any questions, please feel free to type in the comments. And I'm pretty good about responding quickly. So with that said, let's get started. I am tired. I have already sewn 5 of these. I just finished sewing 5 of them. What I am sewing today is JustynaTHandmade JT Basic Zip Pouch number 2. Now, this is one of the pouches I made. If you notice, it has a scallop edge on the top. So when she made hers, she made it out of vinyl on the bottom and waterproof canvas on top. I used cotton and waterproof canvas. Today, for this video, I will be using cork and cotton. This cotton I got from Jenna from Thunderbirds Handcrafted. Today, only anything that is on her page that she has that's green. She has a link to it. She is offering 16% off, $16 or more. So head on over to Thunderbirds Handcrafted and check out what she has available in green. So like I was saying, this has a scallop edge. I am going to do the cork and scallop so you can see how it's done. It has a zipper end tab. And these here that I finished cotton, I did not scallop the edges. But because it's waterproof canvas, it doesn't fray. You can always burn the edges before sewing it on. But I'm going to show you how to do this version. Justina also has one made out of TPU. Beautiful, quick, no lining involved. This is just a simple on the inside. No slip pockets, no card slots or anything. So it's a quick and easy sew. Let me show you the other ones. I did one in black. Here's this one. And this one. So if you can see, Jenna has different colors in her feather fabric. All right. So let's get started. My glasses on and bring the camera down just a bit. I'm a hot mess today, but you know what? You're here for the sewing, not to watch me. Okay, so when you purchase her pattern, you will get this piece here. There are some lines in the front that you have to transfer to your fabric. So I'm not going to show you that, but I will show you. This is the same piece you see there. And I have transferred the lines in the back. So we have one up top and one on the bottom. And these are basically for your scallop. This one is for the scallop. I'm not going to do a scallop for the back, but I am going to do one for the top. So what I am going to do is line up one of my cork pieces to this line and transfer the curve onto my cork piece. Now, I could have done that with the template, but I'm going to do it with the fabric so that hopefully I can show you how to do this. All right, so what I am doing is I have the front of the fabric against the back of the cork. And I'm going to trace the top edge with a chalk so that you can see it, which I have right here. And I will show you what it looks like. Because if I tilt my phone lower, any lower, it's going to fall. I don't have the exact right equipment. I sort of do. Maybe I should have pulled it out. But I was going to do a live. And I apologize. A little upset I couldn't do a live because I did post in 3 pages that I was going to do a live. So I'm going to do this, record this, and then just post the video. So again, I apologize. But it is what it is. Certain things are beyond my control. As you know how life is. Okay. So I traced my line on the back of the cork, and I'm going to cut it with scallop scissors. Now, I don't have big ones like this one, but I have it in these craft scissors. Now, when I cut out the waterproof canvas with this one, it was giving me a hard time because it is a craft scissors. It's not meant for fabric. But when I tested cork, it did pretty good. So I am going to start cutting. You can see it from this side. But I'm going to cut right on the line, right on my marking, so that yep. I hope this works. If not, I'm going to have to use the scissors. Oh, it's working. I think it worked on the cork because there is a backing to this, and it's thicker than waterproof canvas. So I think that's why the cork is working. But on the other ones, I just traced the line and I just followed it with a regular scissors. I'm going to try to invest on some really nice scallop scissors. Basically all of my scissors really need to be sharpened, but we'll see. So I am taking my time because I want to make sure that I cut this right and I don't miss anything. We finally have beautiful weather in Connecticut. It's been really cold, and now all of a sudden we have some beautiful weather. Can breathe out there. Wear a jacket, a light jacket. Oh, I'm getting there. Okay, like I said, these are craft scissors, so I'm hoping, yeah, I might have to go over it. I don't know why I'm paying attention to the bottom. I should be paying attention to the top. Okay. Come on, buddy. Don't fail me now. There we go. Okay, not too bad. Let me just fix this one right here. Oh, I can't do it that way. I have to do it this way. Right? Yeah. All right. Actually, I'm going to leave it alone. Only because I have to work from my right side. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to take a lighter and I'm going to burn the edges just to clean it up a little. My lighter is also dying. Yeah, definitely helps. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I have double-sided tape. So I'm going to take 1/8 inch double-sided tape, and I'm going to tape this to the top of my fabric. So I'm going to place the double-sided tape on the fabric and not the cork. Again, I'm using 1/8 inch double-sided tape, which I purchased from Waywack. I do like their products. And you can buy in bulk, which is great. Okay. Here we go. Got to the edge. Pull the tape off, and I'm going to stick this on top. Now, I have to make sure, the first thing I'm going to do is put this face down, the right side face down, because I need to follow the line here. I want to make sure that it's to the edge of my fabric, to the bottom corner. So I'm going to put that end in first, and then we'll flip it over, put my hand in the center and just run it across and make adjustments as necessary. This side I have to adjust. There we go. Okay, here it is. Now what I'm going to do is sew 1/8 of an inch along the scalloped edge. Using a number 5 stitch. And like I said, this is a basically easy pattern. It's a good pattern to start off with. I'm going slow only because I'm going over a curved edge. And I'm using green thread, so you're going to be able to see it. On the other 5, I decided to do like a production sewing and used 1 color thread. And hopefully it blended in. Okay, here we go. Make sure you turn your fabric slowly. There we go. Okay. And there it is. So that's what it looks like, and you can see the scallop edge. So what I am going to do is with the other piece, we have 2 like this. I'm going to put it on the bottom, and I'm going to stitch at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Make sure you check her pattern because I'm doing mine just slightly different than hers, and she has different seam allowances than I do. But this is what I'm going to use. This is the way I did all the other ones. So I want to stick to the same seam allowance, and that's what I prefer. All right, so I'm gonna back stitch at the beginning and end. And like I said, it's a quick sew. I did 5. I am tired. And after this, I will be making dinner. My son should be getting off work soon. So the bottom, I'm going to flip this back. I'm going to lay this down like this. Flip the cork down so that my seam allowance is behind the cork. Okay? See, so my seam allowance is facing the cork. And I'm going to sew 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch on the cork side. Okay. And I'm using a number 5 stitch again. Okay. And that's all set. So already the front panel is done. Sorry about that. Okay, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to put my tag on the top. So I decided to go down. Here it is. About 2 inches from the top, and I am going to center it. I have already put double-sided tape on the back. I'm going 2.5. I think that's what I did for all the other ones. Yes, 2.5. I'm going to center it. And then I'm putting my handmade tag on the back. When I put it on the back, I'm going to make sure that my piece is upside down. Sorry about that. Upside down so that when it goes up, it looks right side up. Okay? So again, right side up, one label there. My other label's going upside down on the bottom. So I'm going to flip it. I'm going down 1 1/4 on this one and center it as well. All right, and I'm going to stitch that in place. I have a little battle wound on my middle finger on this side. I'm in a lot of pain right now, but I will tell you what happened. I was putting on the zipper end on one of the pouches, and as I was screwing it in, I slipped and the screwdriver went into my finger. Yep, I bled. I have a hole in my finger, but I will live. Added some Neosporin on my fingers, so I'm hoping that it'll get numb shortly. But this just happened like right before I got on. So I'm still in pain. Very rare I get hurt doing any sewing. But I did this time. Burn my thread in the back. Stitch the other one on. So I am learning to use YouTube. I am new to the channel. I'm hoping I do have like, I think 4 other videos or 3 more right now that I'm going to record. Like I said before, I did do one and I have to edit the video. So I can't wait to get that one up. And it was one of the bag of the month, the Ember crossbody that was January's bag of the month. So that one will be going up shortly, I hope. Okay, so my labels are done. This one's in the front and this one's in the back. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mark our cork pieces. I'm going to take my chalk, take my small ruler, and on the left side, I'm going to mark in 3/4 of an inch from the edge. Just going to make a small mark on the top. And from the right side, I'm going to make a 1-inch mark. And I'm going to carry those marks to the other side. So since this side is 1 inch, I'm just going to go straight down, do 1 inch on that side. And this side was 3/8, so this opposite, the same side, straight to the bottom, 3/8. I'm sorry, 3/4, not 3/8. 3/4 of an inch. Now, I'm going to take my zipper, and since I'm going to open from left to right, on the top, I'm going to split my zipper, okay, fold it. Normally, I stitch it in place, but I'm going to burn it. Took me a while to get the hang of burning the zipper tape because it wasn't working for me. And now it is. And yes, I know I am getting close with my finger. See if I can. Melt it together. There we go. Okay. One side is melted together. Flip it to the back and do the same thing with the other side. Or you can stitch it on the machine close to the edge, just one stitch to hold it together. But like I said, I finally got the hang of melting it. And because I cook and bake so much, I can somewhat handle the heat. Okay, there it is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is get my double-sided tape again, and I'm going to put my 1/8 inch double-sided tape from this marking to this marking. I always use double-sided tape when it comes to my zippers. I don't clip. I used to clip, but I find that it lays better when I use double-sided tape. It doesn't bulk as much. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And there's Luna and Jordy. I apologize, but I live on a busy street where they see everything. And if somebody's walking, if they hear fire trucks, they're going off like crazy. All right, so I'm going to try to speak louder. Hopefully you can hear me over there barking. So on the front top piece, I'm sorry, Jordy! 1 second, please. Hey! Calm down. Hey, Luna. Calm down, baby, okay? All right, so on the front top piece, I'm going to take my zipper and I'm going to place it down. So again, I'm going to have it opening from my left, closing to my left. All right. Now that that's done, so it's this way face down, okay? So right sides touching each other. I'm going to sew 1/8 of an inch. I'm just going to baste this down for now. Move my zipper. Now, when you get to the 1 inch mark at the end, at the other end, make sure that you turn your tape out of the way. So you're going to bend it at that 1 inch mark, because you don't want, you don't want the zipper tape in your seam allowance. Okay, so let me show you what I did here. Basted the top 1/8 of an inch. When I got to my 1 inch mark on this side, I bent it down. Okay, so you're going to keep this piece out of your seam allowance. Now I'm going to take the zipper tape off the other end, the bottom end, and I'm going to do the same thing. Lift the zipper and go to the other end. Right sides touching. I'm going to flip it over so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to baste. Now, since I'm starting from the 1-inch end. I'm going to make sure that my zipper is out of the way. I'm going to bend it down once I'm underneath the foot, because I have the marking there so I can see where I'm going to start and end. So on this end, I'm going to back stitch and just baste it down. Okay. Done. I'm going to pull out my zipper. Don't be afraid. And just open it up. So they're both exactly where they should be. Okay. My chalk fell. All right, so what I'm going to do is take one of my lining panels. We're almost done. This is the last piece, pretty much. I'm going to take my lining panel, right sides touching. This is the top. I'm going to flip it over, right sides touching. I'm going to put double-sided tape again, 1/8 inch double-sided tape on my zipper. I'm going to move it out of the way. That end piece, move it down. Put my 1/8 inch tape on top and then go all the way across and go to the end or the beginning, whichever way you want to call it. So this is what I did. Zipper tape, double-sided tape, started from the beginning, pushed the tail down and continued the tape. Okay. I'm going to remove the backing to the tape. Right sides together on top of each other. Move the zipper tape down at the end, the tail end down. And then at this point, we're going to stitch it a 1/4 inch. Okay. So I'm going to do this now before I do the other side, because the other side is the same way. But I'm going to stitch this down now. ¼ inch. I'm going to number 3, and I'm going to back stitch beginning and end. Remember to move your tail down. Just hold it with your left hand. Keep it out of the way. And because we already removed our zipper, it's not going to be there. Okay. Out of the way, okay? I'm going to do the same thing to the other end. Exact same thing. I'm going to grab my 1/8 inch double tape, double-sided tape. Start from one end, go all the way to the other end. Make sure you move that tail down before you continue to the end. There we go. Double-sided tape, move my tail down. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the backing off the tape and grab my other piece. Right sides touching again. Put it on top. See if I can do this without turning it around. There we go. Move the zipper tape out of the way. To the other end. And there we are. Now I'm going to sew again. 1/4 inch seam allowance. Reverse at beginning and end. Zipper tape is out of the way. "35 minutes into the video, and this is with me talking, introduction, dogs barking. You can do this. You can do this. You want to get away from the family, you need some time away, take an hour, do this. All right. You have your lining and your front together. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to place your, we're going to top stitch the zipper, okay? So what you want to do is push the seam allowance down toward the top piece, toward the cork, okay? So what I'm going to do is put the lining down first and then push my cork down and just finger press. Because it's cork, I don't have a problem. I don't have to go to the iron. If you're using vinyl, get yourself one of these rollers. It's heavy, it's beautiful, and it gives a nice tailored finish. See? I love this. Anyways, so my zipper is up, my zipper tape is up, my lining is out of the way, my seam allowance is going down. I'm going to stitch a 1/8 inch on the seam allowance, okay? Make sure it's pulled down. All right? Keep an eye on it. I can feel it. So, increase my stitch length to number 5. Have everything look pretty much the same. Back stitch at the beginning and end. Make sure your zipper tape is toward the lining. Don't pinch that. Don't get it pinched in there. Okay. There's my top stitching. Tails out of the way. We're going to do the same thing with the other side. Okay, so we're at the other end. I'm going to put the lining down. Press my cork toward the seam allowance. Cork is nice and flat. Seam allowance is down. Okay. Again, 1/8 inch on the cork, so toward the front. You're not sewing on the lining, you're sewing on the cork. So if you're using vinyl, waterproof canvas, whatever you're using, that's where you're going to be stitching on your 1/8 inch seam allowance. Back stitch beginning and end. I can feel my seam allowance underneath there. Okay. I love this cork. It's so pretty. I just ordered this green cork from My Little Shindig. I also ordered a blue one. It's really pretty. It has some different colors in this. Okay, done. 3/4 of a way through. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. We're now going to put all our pieces together. We're going to take our lining pieces. We're going to fold this in half, okay? What you want to do is make sure that these are aligned, okay? And that's where you're going to clip first. That's where your zipper is. See the zipper, the beginning of the zipper? Right there. That's where you want to start clipping, okay? I'm going to get my clips. I'm going to put one clip there. And I'm going to sew, or actually clip, down toward that side. So this is basically the front of the bag. Okay, I'm not going to clip the lining just yet. I'm going to the other side. Okay, I'm going to move the tails out of the way toward the lining. And I'm going to find my edges, match them up, and clip it in place. And then clip the rest of the front piece down. So that's the only end you really have to be very careful about. You want it to line up when you turn your bag inside out. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is clip down the lining. And I'm going to use these hair clips because it's lining. Don't need the thicker clips for that. And it'll hold it, the pieces flatter, which I like. Now you're going to leave an opening. You can leave about, I'd say, about a 4-inch opening on the bottom so that you can flip your bag at the end toward the opening. I'm not going to mark it, but feel free to mark it. Your 4-inch opening. You don't want to end up closing that up and then have to cut it open. So I'm going to leave about that much. So what I'm going to do is bring my stitch length back down to 3. I'm going to sew 3/8 of an inch on the lining piece, and then I'm going in 1/4 of an inch on the front pieces. That's what I'm going to do. Look at Justina's videos. She has a different stitch length. That's what I'm going to do on mine, okay? So I'm going to start down here. I'm going to go up 3/8 of an inch, make an L, and go across and then go up. And the reason why I do that is because when I flip the bag, I don't have to worry about my stitches breaking, okay? So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to go up 3/8 of an inch, eyeballing it. Feel free to mark your fabric with, you know, erasable pen, pencil, chalk, whatever you have. Okay. Again, I'm at the lining and I'm stitching 3/8 of an inch. Make sure your tails are tucked in and you don't sew. Stick your finger through the seam on the side, push it in, hold it with your left hand. Hold it down. And once I get toward the zipper, soon as I get to the zipper piece, to where my zipper starts, I'm going in 1/4 of an inch. That's what I'm going to do. Again, follow Justina's video. You want to make sure that your lining kind of fits snug on the inside. All right, so now I'm going to back stitch at the end. I'll show you what I did down here. This is what I did. Okay. And it makes it easier for me for when I have to top stitch the bottom. All right, so now I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to start from up here. Quarter of an inch. Again, that's my preference. If it was a bag, I'm going to follow the seam allowance that the pattern designer wrote. But because this is a small pouch, I'm going to do it this way. And because there's no tail at this end, you don't have to worry about moving it out of the way. Okay? So now, don't forget, increase your stitching once you hit the lining. Less bulkiness. Pivot. Go to the bottom. Make sure you leave an opening. Don't forget. Try doing that when you're doing a bag. Okay. I've done it. Where I've stitched the whole thing closed. And then I had to pull Jack out. Jack the Ripper. Alrighty. There we are. Now, we're going to do some box corners. I'm going to take my 6-inch ruler again. And I'm going to take a pen. This is a Micron number 5 pen. I purchased this so many years ago when Nancy from Nancy Notions used to have her channel and she was alive. I bought a bunch of these and I haven't really used it up until now. And I love them. It's permanent marker, so be careful, okay? On the lining part, you're going to draw a 3/4 inch box, okay? So let me draw it on here and I'll show you what it looks like. And this is on the lining piece, on the bottom, the lining piece. Not the outer, not the exterior, the lining. There it is. You're going to draw a 3/4 square starting from this edge and this edge. So it's 3/4. You're going to do that to the other end of the lining piece, your bottom edge. You're going to do the same thing. 3/4 inch box. It's on the bottom, the lining. Opening is there. These are the corners, okay? On the other side, you're going to mark it differently. Now, this is according to Justina's video. You're going to go 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, but you're still going in 3/4 of an inch from the side. So I'll show you what that means. It's still 3/4 inch from here to here, but from here to here is 1/4 of an inch. Okay? That's how she has it. She knows what she's doing. I'm just following what she said, okay? I'm going to do the same thing to the opposite side. 3/4 inch in from the end and 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. It works. I did it with the other 5. I'm doing the same thing with this one. I think I went too far on the other one. Yes, I did. Jordy, Luna. Okay. So now I'm going to cut my boxes before I stitch them together. My scissors are lousy. I need a new pair of scissors. Actually, they need to be sharpened. Hi, baby. I'm almost done, honey. Okay, just give me a minute. Yeah. Be a good girl. All right. This is what it looks like. That's my lining. And this is the other pieces. See the difference? Let me see. It's a big difference. But like I said, Justina knows what she's doing. It's her pattern. I'm doing what she said. Now, I'm going to box my corners. I'm going to open up my seam allowances. Actually, let me grab my fabric this way. Pull it open. Open up my seam allowance. And I'm going to clip them. See? Match your centers. Okay? Using a clip. Do the same thing with the end. I'm going to do the same thing with all 4 corners. Open up my seam allowance. And I'm going to clip that in place. Right? I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Almost done. We're going to be flipping pretty soon. Kind of bummed I couldn't go live. I was looking forward to the live. Posted it on 3 channels. That's what I get. Okay. Last corner. But you know what? It's a learning curve. I'm learning as I go. I have a camera. Right now I'm using my iPhone. I do have a camera. For some reason, I can't get the picture to work. And I was told that's possibly because I need a new battery. So I'm going to order a battery and hopefully I can get that picture going so that I can use my camera. So there is the lining. That's my exterior. I'm going to stitch at 1/4 of an inch. Okay. And I like to double stitch beginning and middle because that is a seam in the middle and I don't want it to split open. You know, you never know what objects you put in there. If it's heavy, sharp, you want to make sure that you close that up well. Okay, that's done. Two more. And last corner. This pouch is so cute. time to flip. Okay, trying not to get my fingers. Alrighty, so now we're going to turn this inside out. There's my hole. It's not that big, but you know what? It'll do. Pulling in the lining corner first. Actually, the exterior. Pushing out my edge, my corner piece. Doing the same thing, grabbing the other side. Grabbing this side, boxed corner, pushing it through with my thumb, through the hole, through the opening, pushing it out, and then I can pull it through. And I'm just going around and around. It makes it so much more easier. I'm not putting too much effort in this. And there it is. There's my bottom piece. Sides match up nicely. Zipper tail end, the beginning. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, let me show you why I stitched down on the lining piece when I did that L. So now, when I close my edges, instead of me trying to match the edge, I stick my finger on the side. It's already there. And that's it. Pinch it together, stitch it closed. Before, when I didn't do that, I was constantly trying to line up both sides, even it up, because I'm such a perfectionist, which sometimes is good and sometimes it's bad. And I can stitch that closed without any problems. Normally, I hand stitch all my bags closed. Today, it's not happening. I'm gonna stitch about 1/16 of an inch from the edge, or as close to the edge as I can. Back stitch beginning and end. Go slow because you're so close to the edge. Opening is, well, it's already stitched up. Okay, back stitch, and we are done. Almost. All right, I'm gonna burn my stitches. Yes, I'm almost out. Come on, don't fail me now. There we go. Okay, pop it open, stuff my lining on the inside. Slow down, Jojo. That's my German Shepherd. I love her to death. She's a nut. Nothing like my other dog. But I love them both dearly. Alrighty, look at how pretty. Look at that. See how nicely it fits in there? All right, so now we're gonna pull our zipper pull on. See a stitch here? It's driving me crazy. This is what I mean about me being a perfectionist. I see it. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to put my zipper pull on. Line up my edges. Did I burn these? I did burn one. I'm going to burn it again. make it easier for me. Okay. Hopefully I won't have a hard time. I normally can do this like first shot. Hold on. Sorry. Out of frame. There we go. See how nicely that closed up? That's so pretty. All right. Now, I'm going to put a zipper end on. And this is how I got hurt. I actually stabbed myself. I really did. That's the bag. All right. This is what I stabbed myself with. Can you believe that? This. Right there. All right. I'm going to get a zipper end. I got this from 2 Minute to Stitch. Got my zipper from My Handmade Space, which I tend to get all my zippers through. Waywack also have zipper tapes, depending on the color. Sometimes I get my black zipper tape through Waywack, but 99.9% of the time, my zippers are coming from My Handmade Space, because they have every color zipper you can think of. All right, so I'm going to fold this. I'm facing the front. This is the front of the zipper. I'm going to fold it back. I'm going to try just to see the teeth, and that's it. I'm going to fold the other one back, okay? So there's sandwiches. It's triple. I'm going to take my lighter, and I'm going to burn the edge to try to seal it together, okay? Again, I can do this with my finger. I'm careful. Try to pinch it together. There we go. So that I can fit it in there. All right. Fit it through the opening. Can't see that, but there we go. Went right in. Slipped right in. Okay. You know, I did 4 of them, no problem. The 5th one, just stabbed away. Stabbed right in. All right. And it was because the screw didn't want to go in. So let's try this again. Keeping it on the table, screwing it in place. Funny thing is, it was just that one screw. This one went in beautifully. Oops, see? I really should put this on something. Piece of fabric, so. Done. There it is. 1 hour. Talking, dogs barking, beginning to end, explaining what happened to my channel. And here it is. Green. Go on over to Thunderbird's Handcrafted. Grab your green fabrics. Get your 16% off for 16 if you spend $16 and over. And you'll be all set. All right. So here's the green. Here's ruby. Here's golden. Here's black. Taupe. And purple. So I have 6 done that I can take with me tomorrow to pop up. If you're interested in one of these before tomorrow, let me know and I'll pull it to the side. I do ship in US. Probably ship anywhere, but you know, I'm not paying for shipping. So just letting you know. All right. thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you coming to my channel. Again, I apologize. I really